Not only have we beat you, but DT and the guys have shorted out the ionic converter. Now you're gonna have to leave before you lose any more power.
Hey.
Couldn't he say, and I gotta find an exit?
One more. A little squirt of smoke, that looked good.
Couldn't he say, and I gotta find an exit?
Hi, I'm Tom Pattison. In the past 4 years, I've had the pleasure of bringing you the Cleveland Browns in a variety of settings, stages, and scenarios. It's given me an appreciation of what these guys are really like and what it takes to do a video with the Cleveland Browns.
And I'm Holly Pabesic, and I've had the pleasure of co-starring in the last 4 Cleveland Browns videos.
We sometimes look at our sport heroes as bigger than life, superheroes.
That's for sure, Tom. But after growing up and working with these guys, I not only see them as superheroes on the football field, I now know them as good-natured, fun-loving individuals.
Make no mistake about it, these are people with incredible abilities that could have been successful at anything they chose to do.
And they all have one thing in common, really big hearts.
We've taken these masters of the gridiron out of their element and put them into situations that they weren't comfortable with and certainly never trained for.
Yeah, Tom, and the results were sometimes disastrous, but always fun.
Now, why would our Cleveland Browns put on makeup, wear ridiculous costumes, try to act, sing, and fight ninja warriors?
Not for themselves, Tom, but to benefit the many charities we've helped over the years.
So sit back as Dancing Danny Wright
And Doug Dieken
bring you the world of the Cleveland Browns videos.
Hi, welcome to Browns Bloops, Outtakes, and Highlights of the last 4 Browns videos. I'm Dancing Danny Wright, that's my football name, and with me a football legend in this town, Mr. Dieken. I goofed you.
You missed it. A lot of kids come up and say, didn't you used to be? But Dancing Danny, that's a real football name.
That is, yeah. I think I'd get hit a lot if I use that. Now, I know it's Doug Dieken. Now, Doug, it gives you an idea what happens when these videos are done. You can goof up, get things wrong. Now, when you were playing...
Hey, the great thing about them, you look at some of the people that have been in them, Mike Babb, Ernest Biner, Bob Golick. I mean, it does a lot for your job security.
Right, yeah.
They got me, they can't get me twice, so what can I say?
Well, I'm still working in this town, man. I hope it works out. Now, we're about ready to see some real goof-ups from some of the Browns.
Yep.
A lot of these guys you know.
A lot of them. In fact, if you watch the video, you'll find out that the majority of them are defensive players, which kind of, points out something I think we've all known for a long time.
And that is?
That their playbooks have crayons attached.
Let's start it out.
You can't say them. I mean, Eddie Johnson, what are you going to say about a guy with a neck like that?
Then what, to my wondering eyes, should appear? That was my best I had to... Sure I was. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer, now Vixen. Uncun it. That's an end. Did you see that? Uncomet, uncupid, undaughter, and she crushed me in my ribs.
On Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen. To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall. Now dash away, dash away, dash away all. Now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen. On Comet and Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen. To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall. I looked at him, I'm sorry, let's go. Keep rolling, keep going, keep rolling. Keep going. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen, to the top of the porch, to the top of the wall. Now dash away, dash away, dash away all. So up to the house tops. House top.
I gotta go home, okay?
Last one. Seriously. Seriously.
And the beard on his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of a little old pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke went around and around his head like a wreath. Oh, he was so jolly and plump. The jolly old elf he was. Oh, he was so jolly and plump, the jolly old elf. And I laughed when I saw him. Oh, God, I can't help.
And line a finger. Hey, I told you. Okay. Okay. and laying a finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But his cheeks were like roses when kissed by the sun. His eyes, his nose, his ears, his mouth. His cheeks were like roses when kissed by the sun. I kissed him on the cheeks.
And he started to run.
And then what happened after that? His cheeks were like roses when kissed by the sun. His nose was like a cherry, all wrinkled with fun. His droll little mouth was drooling. His droll little mouth. Oh, God. Oh, shit. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. I'm sweating. Okay, come on. Let's go.
Okay, now I don't know if this is a good idea, Doug. They said the people are going to get a laugh out of this. Now, what we're about to see is some Christmas carols from the
Well, that's we identify ourselves. You're Dancing Danny. I'm Doug. We are not Cisco and Bozo.
Well, we're going to see the Browns singing Christmas carols here in a minute from one of the tapes. How do you think they talk Golick into guys into getting into one of these? I don't know.
I think you can talk any idiot into doing it.
Hey, you! Well, Doug, I'm sure that many times in the old locker room, the team would sit around and reminisce about holiday special stories, special things that brought a tear to your eye, maybe during halftime of a big game. We're about ready to see one right now. I don't know if you've seen this story before or not. Is this is Tom Cousineau, I believe.
Yeah, I think it is. It's one of his real tender moments in his childhood.
I hope we can get through it without breaking up.
Okay. I remember a Christmas back when I was in about 2nd grade. My family, we lived in a house that didn't have a fireplace, and evidently my parents had locked the front door, so Santa Claus, he couldn't get in. And I remember waking up, I don't know what time it was, but it was very late, and there was a little knock on the window, and it was Santa Claus. I opened up the window and let him in. Of course, he wouldn't let me go downstairs with him, because then I'd see all the presents, so he made me stay outside on the roof in my pajamas. It was freezing cold, snowing, of course. While Santa delivered the presents, I talked to Rudolph and the rest of the reindeer, and what a great experience. Santa came back, gave me a little gift for keeping the reindeer on the roof, got back in his sleigh, and disappeared into the night. Well, I could hardly contain myself, and it was a joyous experience to describe to the family, as you can well imagine, until my father took me up onto the roof where the reindeer had landed, and we had to clean up reindeer mess.
You know, sometimes I think maybe you guys got into too much rubbing alcohol or liniment in the locker room. It affected you a little bit. That last story, man, I've never heard anything quite like that.
And you never saw me dressed up like this either.
You were a smart guy. You had a good agent. We'll look at some outtakes now and some cuts from the famous Masters of the Gridiron video featuring the Cleveland Browns.
I got news for you. I never had this much energy on my day off. I mean,
You look gorgeous.
I feel like I'm an ancient warrior now. You know, got a little skull on my head, you know, so I think it's pretty exciting.
We're basically just battling. We're on a quest for the ring of power.
I'm the spear thrower, and it's supposed to simulate dropping back, throwing a pass.
Look, it's the castle of the Lord of the
Now watch these. These guys are going to mess this up, and they're not even going to have to say a word, Doug.
You're out of starters, all right. Keep going. Clear. Break for lunch. Lunch!
I think it's probably one of a football player's favorite words is lunch.
Yeah, definitely is. Tony Romas, what can you say?
Yeah, now they brought some Tony Romas by for us here tonight. I didn't know that. I had a peanut butter sandwich in the car on the way over here. I really did. Look at that. Now, Masters of the Gridiron was a pretty ambitious video for the Cleveland Browns. In fact, it was the biggest one undertaken. And Doug, you've seen it before. You know, these guys did not want to have any stunt doubles. They wanted to do all their own fight scenes and all that.
Well, there's a lot of danger, obviously. Some of this is not easy stuff, and you get people this size with sticks in their hands. It's, you know, what you might say is illegal to some extent. But I think it's interesting that the defensive guys were able to, you know, they're running around swinging these clubs at you, and the offensive guys are trying to grab them, you know, and hold them and things like that. So
kind of a reversal there.
Well, no, I mean, it's a tendency of the offensive lineman. I think Dan Fike probably, yeah, to grab more people than most people.
I see what you're saying.
It's called a holding penalty.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah.
Well, see, I didn't want to bring that up because every time your name comes up, that H word. All right, so we're going to see the Browns in this, the action part of the video right now, and they had professional martial arts fighters instruct them. There was a lot of people on the set that day, and we'll see some of it right now. I don't think these are so much outtakes. This is just some really good cuts from Masters of the Gridiron, the most ambitious Browns video ever done. Let's take a look.
Look, it is the counsel of the Lord of the League, and there he stands.
Hi, fellas. Welcome to my nightmare.
We mean to have the ring of the Masters of the Gridiron.
Only those who have conquered on the bloody plain will wear the Master's ring. Look to the field, minions of Modella. Your enemies await you.
that is Michael Stanley with the song. And, of course, in that video, the Browns were the victors. As the season progressed, that was 1986, they lost in the AFC Championship game with what I think is most familiar as The Drive and John Elway. So next year, when the Browns put their video together, they decided to focus in on their immediate goal, which was the Super Bowl. They did it in a little bit more of a serious nature. Take a look at it.
Sure.
Consider it an honor to be in this tradition of the Cleveland Browns. They have a winning tradition, one of the great franchises in the league's history.
There's a lot of history with the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns have had great football teams in the past, and I think I feel a little pressure for us to continue that success that the Browns have had in the past.
Key ingredients for a championship team, in my opinion, is three things. First, the team has to be hungry. They have to have the willingness and the desire to take more than that extra step to accomplish the championship. Secondly, they have to have good team leaders, some guys that can pull the team together when they go through some tough times. Third, they have to have people willing to accept their proper roles. Everybody can't be the star. Some people have to play the support role, so you got to have people that are willing to play the proper role.
We have a lot of confidence in ourselves, and the team really believes that we're capable of being one of the best teams in the National Football League.
There was a number of us, myself included, probably because I grew up in Cleveland. I wanted to win those games, and I wanted to get the Super Bowl, not just for myself and for the Cleveland Browns, but for the Cleveland fans who have been devoted followers of the Cleveland Browns for years and years.
I think the fans here in Cleveland are the greatest fans anywhere in the world. People talk about the fans in Denver, the fans in Seattle, but to me, the fans here are just super. They come out and they support us, win, lose, or draw, and we appreciate that. And when we come into the stadium, there's all the time 80,000 plus, and they're roaring.
My whole body was a tingle because of the noise, the sheer utter screaming and the emotion just pouring out of the crowd. I usually don't notice them, but sometimes when I do, it's fantastic.
I tell you, we love our fans.
The Super Bowl is the ultimate goal of any player.
For that brief shining day, you are the absolute best in the whole world at one thing.
To run out on the field when there's only two teams that are left, that's you and your opponent. And then when the game is over, it's only you. And you are the best football team in the National Football League.
We've learned
Well, you know, it's always fun to see the players in a little bit more serious side, but they got such wild, outgoing personalities, Doug. We can't hold them down for too long.
Well, it's nice to see, too, that there's more than a jersey and a nameplate to a football player. I mean, there's a different side, and there's a serious side, as we've seen, but you got to put them back where they belong.
They're going to get us some strange uniforms now. For this video that was done a few years ago called DT, all the stops were pulled out on this one. A kitchen sink was thrown in. You've got rockets and bombs and lasers and aliens and spaceships. And probably the biggest addition of the Browns video, Doug, was special effects. Now you're going to see something here, Doug, that happened that wasn't supposed to in Hanford.
Sorry.
That's a good look, please.
You know, and Hanford just about lit his Bic, too.
This time, we imported trouble from outer space.
Bob, also, when you scream, can you give us some body motion, like, you know, jump back? Because you're
Yeah,
completely
the first time you did it was good.
Yeah, lean back, and you almost go off the chair. Okay.
You know, NFL players have a certain image to uphold, so we promised Bob that we would one day publish this disclaimer. Here you go.
I have to maintain my masculinity throughout this whole thing. I don't normally scream. I've never screamed before, so this is a total new experience.
Yeah, but you don't want to cut in the middle of Zoom, so if you're going, it's got to be, you know.
This is acting. You will see here, probably.
Okay, well, we got Mr. Gorlick taken care of there, Doug. Now we're going to see some outtakes from DT. And DT had the most speaking parts and perhaps most complex of all the Browns videos, which leaves room for a lot of error.
Oh, a lot of error, and I think if you watch these guys, you'll see a professionalism to them, but on the other hand, it's, you know, it's like forgetting the snap count. It happens.
It does happen, and professional athletes are busy. A lot of times they don't have time for all the rehearsals needed, and there were no rehearsals for DT, so what happened is just lots and lots of takes, over and over.
A lot of these guys, when they heard DT, they thought that maybe they had the shakes. But anyhow, let's
take a look at some scenes from the video DT.
Do you really think this is going to work?
I don't know, but all we have to do is create a good diversion so DT can deactivate their weapons.
Would you stop it? He started smiling at me.
I had it.
Yeah, there you go.
Reggie, speak up a little louder, too.
Do you really think this is going to work?
I don't know, but all we have to do is create a good diversion so DT can deactivate their weaponry.
Oh, now who screwed it up? Now who screwed it up, Mr. Whisper in the ear?
What did you say?
Let's see what happened here, Doug. They were talking some stuff they didn't want anybody to hear, but the mic was on, and all of a sudden they noticed the sound man could hear everything.
Action! Wait, what happened?
Go back to your smarts. Okay. Gotta wait on.
You broke his gun.
You laid down too fast, right?
Okay, hold it.
Oh, you hit the...
Let's get them!
Living for revenge.
Man, I thought they were tougher than that.
Yeah, so much for
Hey, way to go, guys. Way to go. Way to work.
Yeah, way to go, guys. Well, that's pretty cool. Inside look at the Browns, the bloopers, the highlights from the past videos.
We've had some fun with the guys, and I think the thing we want to get across is there's a human element to these players. It's not all hype on Sunday afternoon. They like to enjoy themselves, and I think they like to do good things for other people. And proceeds from these tapes have gone to the American Cancer Society. So it's a bunch of players that care about the community in which they live, and I think this is their way of sharing something with them, and hopefully that through the proceeds from these tapes, maybe we can solve the problem of cancer.
Well, it's a good start, and Doug, I appreciate you helping too. You're one of those players. You do a lot of good things for the community, and if you just knew how many hours and countless days that Doug and I have prepared for this video presentation here for you. I think we're going to have our own bleeps and bloops and highlights tape out of this.
And welcome to the Home Shopping Network. Don't forget your hood ornaments, $9.95.
And we will be selling these tapes in the lobby after the show. Well, that about does it. We do appreciate you being part of it and buying the tape. And Doug, hope to work with you again sometime.
I've never had so much fun since I heard Red Wright 88.
Thanks. We'll see you.
Hey, break.
All right.
It's time and materials.
Oh, we never did do the thing with Bernie.
Oh, I wouldn't do that.
Bernie, you want another 5 yards on your next pass, pal? Put them bone wings on there. I don't even know if we're running audio or not right now. Oh, we are. Maybe we'll edit that part out. You guys did a good job on this set.
Yeah,
thanks.
It was good.
Keep the props.
Use a lot of tape, my dear.
There you go.
Chet, let's redo this. Everything back.
Everything's being repossessed.
Didn't make the payments on this stuff again, huh, Tom?
You got it? I can't thank J.C. Penney's enough for everything. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, you guys didn't play with balloons.
Oh, do you want to take one of those home? Maybe to your little 1-year-old there.
Yeah.
I don't think young kids should play with those balloons.
Take the Betamax back to the neighbor's house. TV is 2 houses down.
Throw that over there for me, buddy.
Oh, gotcha.